Yes, but Leo can absorb fall damage.
But he can't sort a massive object crashing on top of his head.
It's literally what he does.
No,
That's how
just
physics
fall.
works.
No. By the rules, if somebody slaps into him like a cannonball,
I'm not saying he'd survive. I'm just saying that technically he's absorbing the damage.
Well, yeah.
To get away from this ridiculous conversation, am I able to collect arrows off of the fallen goblins and hobgoblins?
Yeah, do a survival check.
I will get advantage from my cat, who is just going to go around finding them, thinking they're sticks. Either that, or the cat is quite intelligent. So, yeah, 25.
Roll 4d4.
Hell yeah. 11.
11, yeah.
That is surprisingly few.
I'll take all I can get, baby.
Not really.
It's 2 groups of volleying.
I also went in there as a panther, ripping through them, and then used acid bites.
Well, I'm going to point out for you from now on, Hugh, maybe when you go to bite people, don't bite them in the quiver.
Well, I was
Aim
going
for
for
more
the
vital
face.
parts.
I was going for the face, you see, but they turned their shoulders.
How many arrows does your contingent have, Gar?
Let's see. Hold on, let me double check. I think I've got Gar sheet or the skeletons.
Do you need some more?
Oh, I always need more.
Like, give me a rundown. How many could you use?
I mean, as many as you've got.
Okay, I'll give you 27.
Okay. How about you just give me 21? That would be easier for me to track.
Nope, 27.
Wow.
That's the number. That's the number you get.
Or take someone just throws them over his shoulder. It's like I got even numbers now.
Okay, well, my answer to your question is, hey, does anybody know how to make arrows?
You ran out of arrows?
No, actually, all of my archers now have 1 arrow. And I have a couple extra.
Holy shit!
That's interesting.
I actually have a question.
Uh-huh.
Would fletching fall under wood carvers?
No.
What would it fall under? Just so I know.
Under fletching.
But there is no fletching tools.
That would be basically blacksmithing.
Okay.
I can do that.
So between me for the arrow shafts and kicks for the blacksmithing, we can do it.
Except you don't have the proper tools.
If he has blacksmith tools, then we have the tools.
Oh, usually I just use someone else's forge.
Come on.
I don't carry an anvil with me everywhere I go. But if these are just arrowheads, and I mean, maybe we could work something out.
I've got plenty of extra bone. I want to do bone arrowheads.
Bone arrowheads could work. All we need is like at least a little hammer and maybe a chisel. And these, I guess the question would be, do these hobgoblins have any sort of small tools on them?
Aside from entrenching tools, no.
We're next to giant piles of stone. Just do what the ancient civilizations did and just use a sharp-edged stone.
Right, which would basically be the starting point. But
I'm going to hide
if you
our
have
camp
bone,
while
then-
this happens.
Yeah, if you have bone, then like finding a sharp piece of obsidian or slate around here and then bashing bone against it would probably be at least good enough. But I would understand if you just said disadvantage on that.
I don't know how easy to find obsidian where there's no volcanic activity.
I don't know if there's volcanoes or not here.
I mean, I think we would have heard of or seen one, or, you know, the rumors of the ancient fire god that used to live in these mountains, or, you know, whatever.
So
in the
if
background,
I start with stone and I try to nap some bone here, what do you think?
I don't know, I think something's going on in the background.
Yeah, in the background, he was just hiding the camp. Like his little arms are like lifting logs that he can barely get. His cat comes and helps. Like it's a whole thing.
Do you need help there, Hugh?
No, I got it.
Now, mind you, I mean, technically that doesn't apply to this game because the game doesn't make a difference between a stone head and a metal.
Right.
Arrow, yeah.
They're just finding the materials to make the roll possible.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do a variation, you could have it be that the arrows built with either stone or bone are not recoverable.
I don't think we'd really recover them in the first place.
I've never been
No, you
recovering my
can.
arrows, so it doesn't matter.
No, just yeah.
Yeah, so like traditionally, you can go and attempt to recover around half of whatever you used, depending on what you're fighting. So you could do that differentiation.
I feel like I take up so much time in combat anyway. I'm not really trying to eat up anymore. I'm trying.
I mean, this is part of the like you
I know.
realize your skeletons went like.
Well, I mean, combat was over. They weren't doing that anymore. Just
Yeah, but it's like, oh, let's check your arrows, and they go like.
that's more me turning around and
An
looking
arrow.
at them. Like, oh,
Yeah.
How many arrows short are you for each skeleton having 2?
how many did you give me? 27.
Give you 27.
So 17.
If you buy me 100 arrows, or 50 like really good ones, when we get back,
How
I'll
much
give
does
you
that cost
17
again?
more. I don't know.
The arrows are typically like what? A bunch for a gold.
20.
Yeah, I know
20 equivalent. Yeah, 20 equivalent basically.
Yeah, but I mean, how much is a quiver? It's like they're cheap.
Yeah,
I think it's a gold at most.
Over there, so I just give you 50 gold right now.
I'll-
I have money. Money's not the problem. I just have no innkeeper around here. No vendor.
Hold on 1 second. Yep, that works.
I didn't know which way you were going to take that. I'm like, that's a good deal. I don't know if you don't.
20 arrows is 1 gold,
Where is this?
which is also 1 pound.
Wait, I need to change that deal. Wait, how much is a platinum? Platinum is 5?
No,
Platinum's one platinum's 10 gold.
Okay, well, I'll give you
What?
40 gold and then 1
Yeah.
platinum.
Electrum is the one
That
with
works.
weird
That works.
conversion.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I don't have 50 gold. And that's how I had a platinum.
Between
It's like,
here.
okay.
Where's the ammunition? Oh, quiver. Quiver is 1 gold, but not the arrows. Where the hell are the arrows?
So I believe the arrows come in packs of 20.
I think they're 1 gold for 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's under adventuring gear.
It doesn't much matter. I gave him basically all of my money
And
anyway.
then there's
Yeah, and
ammunition.
like Hugh's gonna spend that on the group anyways. So like it's effectively going into group fund.
It said okay, buying a quiver, which is where you put your arrows, is 1 gold. Caltrops, 20. Inventory gear. I am not finding the arrows actually.
I think I don't really spend money anymore ever since I.
Oh yeah, I found them. Yeah,
Arrows,
20 arrows, 1 gold piece. Yeah, 1 pound.
Yeah, so right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not- yeah.
I mean, I've wildly overspent. What I was saying before is I don't really use money anymore since I don't take money either. Since all that money got put into the tower, I don't want to steal from the group after getting such an expense in my favor.
I'm just more amazed this has never come up before.
I think actually what Hugh would do, knowing full well the value because of that intelligence, he would, after the deal, he would walk back and go, "Actually, you know what? I don't like having different coins," and he would give you back your the platinum piece.
Okay, you ever try to give somebody something they don't want?
Oh, if you refuse to take it back, he'll just be like, "Okay," and walk away.
Yeah, because we'd have one of those sessions where you like try to push something in my chest because I don't put my hands anywhere. I have retractable arms, remember?
Oh no, it's as simple as all right, and then he just goes back to what he was doing.
And Rob, it came up.
Everything basically.
Yeah, Rob, it came up exactly once when I asked for the money to equip my army.
Oh wow.
Because remember, I needed to put them all in armor and everything too. So that was the only time I bought them arrows. But you gotta remember, they've only shot maybe, I don't know, 20 times? Well, 25 technically. It must have been 25 because that's how many arrows I bought each of them.
Yeah. So
No, 20.
like
It would have been
you-
20
you-
times because that's only bought one quiver.
So
it's-
you basically actually legitimately went down to the last of your quiver per guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was
yeah.
trying to keep the costs extremely low because I wanted to be, here's my low bid. Hey guys, you want to pay for my army?
If it comes down to it, down the road, I can also do, depending on how I fight, 2 more restocks. Just shy.
Well, did we ever do that roll to make arrows?
No, actually, you haven't.
I said I
We have
just
not.
gave you 50 gold and, well, now let's move on.
While they making arrows, I'll go talk to Barakat. How's that sound?
Okay.
Good.
How you doing, Barakat?
Well, I've actually been kind of thinking about something lately.
About what?
Do you mind if I ask you a few things?
No, certainly not at all.
Okay. I know you're new to this group and all, but do you think that
I was half expecting that actually.
yeah, I could do something like that, but I'm not. Do you think that status is really worth the trouble? You know, like gaining a rank or having a title, whatever it is. You think the sacrifice and the work to get there is really a good thing? The fame and all?
It depends on what you're trying to sacrifice for yourself. Is it physical? Is it mental? Is it something that you're trying to be? That it's something that is tangible?
Well, I think most of these things are kind of a mental game, you know.
Life will always have some sort of sacrifice to it. Sometimes it's forced upon us. Sometimes we choose to do it. I know that very well already. What I can say, however, is that when you make the choice, you do the best with what you have with it in the end. And you do what you can to strive to make the best of a situation that at first you may even second guess constantly. Status is fleeting. Self-fulfillment is always constant, if that makes any sense.
You know, I think it does actually make sense. I think it does.
I'm glad to have helped. Are you seriously okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Um, you know, I just certain mindsets, you know, that you have to get into when writing certain types of songs, and you know, having the opinions of another person on those kind of things help.
Can I pull a brain and do an insight?
Yeah, absolutely.
8. God damn it. 8.
I mean,
Brave is dead.
Braid is dead. I mean, you're in a group with a literal baron, but at the same time, songwriter.
Well, I mean, Leal gives you a look and he says, consider the fact of my own predicament. You found me in the middle of the woods, sort of disoriented. I've been living there for years. Like, status has long not been a thing for me. Mindset is something that you still struggle with even now. As cool as as you can make yourself, your mindset it's never constant until you are able to find that balance within, and it's always going to be a struggle to get there. Here's the real test, though. Whatever you're trying to say, whatever you're trying to achieve, are you doing it honestly?
Um, I think, yeah, that I it at least within the context of the song, uh, the the person is who they say they are, and they're looking at themselves and at their surroundings. So, but they're doing it honestly and trying to make it.
Then that is the first step. If it is something you honestly want, if it's something that you look for in terms of actual fulfillment, then that can get you onto the path of what you need.
All right. Okay. Okay. And he takes out like some paper or parchment, I guess, and starts writing some stuff. It looks like music notes, but
Would I even be able to know the difference?
can you read music? Is it a
Like,
secret code? Who knows?
I mean, that's a good question. Like, how would one read music, I guess, in this game?
Well,
Suppose that if you have a music instrument, then yeah, you can read music.
You have an instrument, so it's really up to you whether you learned by hearing or learned by actually learning classically.
He has an instrument. Does he have proficiency with instrument?
No, I don't.
So you play like
then
shit.
Yeah, you can't. You
no,
learn by
because
ear.
no, that's not how it works. Basically, you just once you have the instrument, that's you have proficiency in these.
Well, no, there's proficiency in musical instruments as well.
No, you can have an instrument and not be proficient.
Yeah, I'm just terrible at it.
The same way that you can be proficient in games. There's games you can be proficient in, like Dragon Chess and whatnot.
Yeah, because anyone can attempt to play an instrument or pick a lock with lock picks. The only difference is if you're not proficient, you don't add your proficiency bonus to the roll.
I would say within that context that you learned by ear and therefore cannot read music, but that's your own choice.
I mean, I look at it this way. I probably can recognize that they're notes, but I don't know what they mean. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, music notes look like music notes.
Honestly, if this game had it, I wouldn't even consider Lale literate because he's been living in the woods for so long, but that doesn't exist, so...
Yeah, the way that most proficiencies work, even when it comes to like weapons, a bard could technically pick up a battle axe and swing it.
I could, and I'd be very bad at it.
They're just not proficient in the use of it.
Also, if you look at the general gist, proficiency is just you're slightly better than a normal person anyway.
Yeah, it's just you know how to use it, really. Well, either way,
I do take out the flute, and I actually rolled a 19, so...
You play something that you actually know. Wow.
It sounds good for once.
Incredible. So it looks like music notes. They seem kind of close together, but it could just be like a tempo or a style thing. So
he's writing a rock opera.
Music. I mean, you know that he does play fairly intricately. You know, if you know like
Rodgers and Hammerstein sensation.
Flamenco, like the Mexican kind of style, like finger picking and all that.
Yeah,
that's kind of what they do. So, it could just be that. Otherwise, playing very well.
Cool.
Also gotta be kind of confusing if you're trying to write something in notes and somebody's playing a song right behind you.
A little bit, but it's fun.
Trying to think of what the note placement goes and
he's setting the mood. Getting the creative atmosphere.
There you go.
I appreciate what you're doing. Put yourself for a second.
He will just walk up.
Inspiration.
He will walk up and just be like, "All right, guys, I hit everything. One way in, couple ways out. It's a little snuggly, but we are in a cavern or whatever with the sky above. and they said there was the ladies that swooped down. So
Okay.
All
So you're
right.
setting up for the night then?
Well, I thought there was somebody who was making arrows.
Yup, setting up for the night, making arrows.
Okay.
I guess that could be my camp activity for the night, if that makes sense.
I would be helping you.
Okay. So how about I roll that first? So lessons. Do I have an initial disadvantage, or am I rolling straight initially?
With the materials you're working on, I wouldn't say you have disadvantage. If you had more time, like you would, like, okay, hey, everybody, I'm going to spend a couple of days just working on arrows. No problem. But, you know,
Right.
and
So
the right
you bring
materials, no
it
problem.
up to normal then. For 26.
Yeah. Roll 2d6 plus 2.
Let's do it. Watch it be 4.
Oh god, I hate these uneven numbers.
Yeah.
5 more arrows.
Right. Which means
It's-
there's going to be
it's-
9 skeletons with a second shot.
Yeah. You can always just put them into a reserve pouch until you have enough to distribute.
Yeah, that'll be real good in a case of emergency. Wait,
I mean,
let me give 9 of my skeletons individually 1 arrow apiece.
But now I have a road activity to really help you out then.
I mean, you already know how I work this. Like, a bunch of my skeletons are also carrying enough bones on them. I can cast Animate Dead on them when they fall. So,
I mean, at this point, we basically better save this shot for something big. It sounds like that's all I'm
Yeah.
well, the problem is that they're targets. So if they don't fire, they're going to fall.
It is.
Okay, then. So you're going to continue up the mountain, up the path over here.
And that was a
No.
long rest, correct?
Yes, spend the night. Apparently no patrol comes up. What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna have to reload. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reload roll 20 in a second. For some reason, it's just decided that I have too many tabs open. And it's like, nope. Yeah. Okay, then. So in the morning, as you're cresting up and the road comes up to the edges of a sunken valley, this is what you see before you. In the distance.
Okay.
Ooh,
relatively-
very
I
large
think-
settlement.
Basically a city, an ancient city, with 2, maybe 3 large buildings. You've never seen a configuration of a building like that before. One of them seems to be just in ruins, collapsed into itself, but the other 2, especially you see smoke coming from the one in the middle. From a disadvantage, you can't really see a lot of movement in the streets. You only see smoke coming from the middle one.
All right. So maybe it's not fully populated. That's kind of interesting.
Maybe.
Oh, sorry. While we were still at the camp, the hobgoblins. What weapons do they have?
What weapons do they have? Let me see.
Specifically melee. What melee weapons did they have?
Hobgoblins. Hobgoblin melee weapons are longswords.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 longswords.
Oh, you could have also got daggers off of the goblins.
Alright. How many of those could we have gotten?
Which ones? Daggers?
Yeah, just like daggers and stuff.
Yeah, 16.
I'm gonna take a few of those.
Okay.
I'll take like 6, I guess. I don't know if anyone else wants them.
So we don't know
I'm
what's
good.
going on in the city yet. With our familiars, we can't scout too far. I think their range is 100 feet for actually seeing through their eyes, and after that, you'd have to learn how to speak with them. Is that correct? Theta, since you're familiar with that?
Yeah, it's 100 feet that you can see through their eyes. I have no idea
Yeah.
about the speaking to them part.
Yeah, there's no other further communication unless, say, you have the ability to communicate with
Because they're
animals,
not technically animals either. They're fey creatures.
I think it still works if you want to, but in Shrug, it's still outside of our
Well,
wheelhouse.
that's kind of the
this
world
very
we live
second.
in, right? Anything works if you want it to. If you failed, you just didn't want it hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. So if we're going to scout this out, we still have to do it by risking some or all of us, and then decide how we're going to tackle this. If this is a full-on city worth of people, we can't do this.
That is true.
The village we could do, because that was just a village.
Well, it
But
seems
this
like they
whole
get their
city-
water source from a primary location. We could probably poison it somehow.
I'm sure we could, but I'm not sure that's what we're prepared to set out to do here.
Why not?
I mean, it's a large lake. You can see in poisoning all of that. It's going to be very difficult.
It would also
Not
take
really.
a
We
lot-
come back, we get all the dead bodies of everybody that we fought so far, and we throw it all in the lake. The decomposing bodies will ruin the ecostructure.
Planetville on the line. We're going to set up a factory here, and over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, their birth rate will decline.
I mean, you're laughing like I'm telling you some sort of joke. It's simple biological warfare.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
A few bodies is not going to contaminate the entire area here.
Well,
Like you
first
say.
we let them fester on the ground for a while, and then we'll throw them in. They'll have contained some sort of airborne
Right.
bacteria. Or we go back to the acidic swamp that we passed through before, get a bunch of that, carry it back here.
More the
long would-
point, as an aggressive recon squad that we are, we're not really in the right wheelhouse for this, I think. We didn't come
You-
prepared to wage biological warfare against an entire city's worth of people.
Well, you
Nor are
didn't.
we even in our own territory or with any supply line.
Perhaps we should wait till dusk and I can infiltrate then.
All right, so I will
If-
go ahead and leave
if
it to
you're
our
gonna do
scouts
that-
first.
If you're gonna do that, I'll go with you.
All right, so
All
you
right.
two will go together. You'll recon, and then we'll learn more and form up a plan from there.
Or never see you again. One of these two things.
Or never see them again. We put our risk it versus reward. We retreat because we have no information.
I mean,
And, well, assume that the island is just going to explode.
Captain Suicide and Captain Critical Hit are going to go in alone.
I mean, you also have the Lizard Man guide with you. He's still there.
Well, I
Um,
suspect he's going to say this is a Yanti settlement, right?
Well, he's saying this is the city of the Yantis.
I think you'll find cities are settlements. They're the more prominent side of settlements.
He looks at you
Look to
like,
our guide in
I
this
know, he
guy.
doesn't
He's
understand
like
what
that.
I'm saying anyway, so I don't even know how he's
Yeah.
answering my questions.
Don't interact.
If we're gonna wait till darkness to go,
Mhm.
I want to ritual cast Speak with Animals and see if I can get some information about the city from the local wildlife.
okay.
Oh shit, I just had a thought. Sorry, real quick before you do your thing, Hugh. Yanti can speak with animals too, can't they? Which means any...
Specifically, snakes.
Well, yeah, but if there's any snakes around here, well, man, we had to do what was it? The Irish thing. We have to beat all the snakes out over here because any one of
Yeah.
these little
Oh,
slithery
yeah,
bastards are going to be traitors
This is a
against us.
situation. This is a situation.
So
Well,
that's
while you speak with animals, I'm going to do some meditation to the shadow goddess Jeanne, and maybe we can get guidance from that.
Oh, come on.
because I can't imagine a city of Yanti, if there's any snakes in the area, can't have some sort of like symbiotic relationship with any snakes in the area as well.
I'm actually
maybe not. I
very
don't know what-
curious. Would our guide inform us of the Yanti's ability to converse with snakes?
He doesn't know anything about that.
You
He
know,
knows that the Janti enslaved them, the lizard folk, and also how can I say this? sacrifice them to their gods.
Would it be a
Okay.
nature check to know that?
No, really.
I mean, what check would it be? I want to know if I know this before I keep going on about it.
It will be an arcane check.
23. Hey guys.
You do know that the Yanti have connection to serpent-like gods, and many Yanti claim to be descendants of these serpent-like gods, and serpent-like gods tend to control serpents of all types, including Yanti.
I believe the Yanti are part of House Slytherin.
If that's the case, I charge my cat with killing any snakes that come within 50 feet of us.
Okay.
Well, also the encampment, since we were here all night, and
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, the cat's on watch for snakes.
Yeah, that cat's going to be very busy.
Yep, 100%. I'm fully aware. I'll make sure that he eats well. So, on your watches, guys, if you see snakes, get rid of them.
Did you roll for the speak with animals?
I don't need to.
Oh, never mind.
I need to make a check afterwards for like persuasion and stuff, but I just ritual cast and speak with animals.
Okay.
All right. Well, whenever it's like nightfall, then I'm going to do my cast on us.
So before night comes, do I get any?
Yeah, you
anything
get
from animals?
another bird of paradise of Lance. Right.
Oh, I've spoken with one of you before.
Right. Lots of us. We flock.
Yes. What is in city?
Snakes.
Where's the most snakes?
In the big boulders, the big mountains.
The big mountains. Okay. Secret ways in?
What's a secret?
That people like us don't normally see.
We fly. We stay awake. They like to hunt us. That's a secret, I guess.
It is good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a name?
No. What's the name?
You are Hubert. Thank you, Hubert.
I am Hubert. Thank you.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Nope.
Okay.
Bye.
And he flies away. It's a bird. It's literally a bird.
I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware.
Anyway.
So the birds normally fly in. The biggest buildings have the most snakes. They don't know anything about special ways in.
There's no special way in then?
Not that they're aware of.
All right. Once it's dark out, I cast Pass Without Trace.
I turn into a cat and I jump up on you.
How much do you weigh?
That's 5 pounds at most. 6 pounds.
Yeah,
Oh,
5-6
a
pounds
little
at
cat.
most.
I thought you
like,
mean...
No, like literally like a little cat.
Oh, a little cat. That's perfectly fine. All right, then off into the night with Pass Without Trace on. It's a +10 to the stealth rolls.
Okay.
So this would be a +18, I guess, total for me.
If you make a roll, yeah. So you got 21. 31?
Yeah, 31 total.
Do I need to make one if I'm just hitching a ride?
No, not really.
Okay.
Also, I think password trace is high radius from massing you and your companions from detection. It covers everybody within.
Yeah,
radius. No, yeah.
Yeah, anybody who's within there, I give all the camp to as well, just in case.
Well, as soon as you move, it's off the camp.
Oh, all right. Then it's just on me.
Yeah, it's on you. It's centered on you. You look and you descend from the rocks over here. So this is the area to the south, and you realize that there should have been a thriving city, even at night, is eerily empty. So these watchtowers, for example, there's no one there. at least in the outer perimeter. But as you get closer to into the city itself, you do hear the sounds of fighting.
Sorry, you said fighting?
Fighting, yes.
Is there any way that we can actually like get through the walls or the gates and sneak through?
Yeah, you can climb. This is inside the city, so I suspect that you climb the walls unless you do something.
Okay. I would do that very slowly because I'm doing it one-handed.
Yeah. Put yourself somewhere over here, Hugh and Leo.
Just place Lael, and then I'll place myself.
Okay. So
Like I'm a little cat on him.
I think let's say that you can see this because you're night vision. So essentially you see two groups of very large half snakes, half humans, and the praying mantis fighting with goblins and ogre and what looks like at this distance looks like a human female as well. And you also hear the buzzing of the giant wasp.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's like these wasps should be
A lot of stuff.
We need to go get everyone else and come back.
You think you can go and get them and I'll just observe them here?
Can they all speak cat?
How far? How much? What's it? How long did it take us to get here?
You have a few minutes left on the pass without trace because you have to come down, climb, and see this, and then come
So
back.
about
Yeah.
So about an hour.
Yeah.
In that case, I think we should both go back. Because if you get caught here alone when there's an hour each way, that's a problem.
How dark is it right now?
There's about pale moonlight, half.
Is there enough shadows nearby for everything?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of shadows.
I tell you, I'll actually be okay. Don't worry about me out here.
Booking it back.
They're fighting amongst each other, shooting arrows, and the wasps are making fly attacks, and the ogre's picking up pieces of building and rocks and shove them. So I'm not gonna have them kill each other, but that's what you're saying. You're seeing this battle between the two of them.
But no, I book it back. By that time, my wild shape would drop. Okay, fighting, craziness going on inside. Now's a good time to strike because they're distracted by each other. We can at least do some damage, then get out.
Well, maybe we should wait for one party to be deader than the other party.
They got 2 hours to fight.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't fight them when they're both at full strength fighting each other. We should fight when one of them is dead or nearly dead, and they
Well, they
fought
won't be
each
at
other.
full strength. They've been fighting each other.
We don't know for how long.
Eventually,
We should wait for
Also-
maximum casualties, is what I'm saying.
while you're talking, when you're listening, while Hugh is, briefing everyone else, eventually this fight breaks up. They drag the wounded out and they just leave the area. Right. So there's casualties on both sides, but
Right.
This is more like what you saw was more like not like a full on, battle in the sense of huge armies. It just was a brawl basically between different factions.
I hope
Right.
not. One side's only 4 people.
Well, we still know that there were multiple Yuan-Ti factions vying for control already. So this is it playing out right here.
Okay, so are we staying here or am I going back to make sure that Lael's okay? Because I came back to get you guys.
Well, we're going in then.
Yeah, why don't you leave Lael behind?
Because he said it'd be okay.
Well,
If they're already exhausted, then now's the time to strike and take what advantage we can.
Left the one-armed monk behind.
Okay. Okay.
While they're doing that, which side seemed to be more beat up or bruised that I would notice?
Basically, both of them have taken casualties and they're both retreating. So
Do I get a sense that the woman with the hobgoblins and all that stuff I'm assuming she's in charge of them?
yeah,
Okay, and the other Yuan-Ti, the ones that are more snake-like, what's my impression of them? I guess, or
Make
would
it
I have to roll
intelligent.
something?
Make an intelligence check.
My weakest stat. Oh, not horrible. 14.
They seem to be the ones ordering around the mantises. The mantises seem to be, but these mantises, unlike the other ones that you fought, don't have riders.
Interesting. Okay.
And eventually, they fall back. The goblins take their wounded. The ogre sort of, takes one of the goblin bodies and chucks them on the other side and hits the side of a building, and then the other Yanti retreat. Yeah,
Is that body near me? That one he just chucked to the side of the building?
it's over here.
I'm not on that map. I can't see it.
No. Sorry about that.
By the way, how tall was the wall that they had to climb to get in there?
A good 30 to 40 feet.
Oh, you hear that, Kicks? It's a 30, 40 foot wall.
I can do it. It just takes a while.
They
can't
smacked it
do
over
it.
here. Yeah, you see the body just rolls up. It's in the bottom of the building.
Gonna have to make the
In fact,
skeletons.
in
from
fact,
the
you
ladder.
notice also like many of these buildings have been abandoned or collapsed.
Yeah.
A vegetation has grown over them. So yeah, but once it was a thriving city, now it's
The building I'm in, I actually want to search the insides of it. The one that I'm near at the moment.
yeah.
Like, is it just like a standard house? I guess
Yeah, most of the walls have collapsed. In fact, ironically, the building stands because the trees have the roots have sort of melded into the house, and they're being propped up by the house. So there's like huge, holes on the wall. If there was a window, anything that's wooden or anything that could rot is long gone. Most of it is adobe, or stone. That's what's remained. Right? In fact, what first looks at from the top as a thatch roof, in fact, it's just a mess of brambles and vines that sort of basically took over. Right? That's providing what looks like the roof.
This is interesting because it's okay. So this is interesting then. So it seems like there's two factions fighting each other while we've been systematically fighting both at the same time.
At least two factions.
Yes. We moved.
I'm moving the map because I was doing, yeah.
All right. Next question then.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to track one of the sides to see where they go?
Which one are you gonna track?
That's a valid question.
Both sides have giants.
No, well, the only side that has giants are the actual ones with the ogres and giants.
Those Yanti took up 4 squares. That means they're giants. They're giant.
Oh,
Yanti.
you're talking about the giant Yanti, but we've never fought those giant Yanti before.
Those will be size large.
I don't know, because a horse is only 2 squares, and large is a horse size.
Yeah, because it scales small and medium is 1, and then large is 2 by 2, and it goes to 3 by 3, 4 by 4.
Well, either way, compared to normal Yanti, they're giant.
Yeah,
maybe not in the mechanical sense.
Would I need to make a roll of some kind to try and recollect if we fought those Yanti, the more snake-like ones, previously?
No, of course not. You never fought them before.
We have fought 5 Yanti in the past, and that was it. They were all normal Yanti.
I'm just checking because they're the group I think I will actually at least follow for the time being.
Okay.
So stealth roll, I guess.
Yes.
All right, this will be standard because I'm not going to cast Pass Without Trace again for now. Not as good. 14.
Okay.
Do you have advantage because of the shadows?
That's a good question.
Well, depends how quickly you're moving. Are you moving slowly and taking advantage of the shadows, or are you moving at a normal pace?
I mean, I would just take advantage of the shadows at this point, really, because that's what I would.
You have advantage, but you have to allow them to get a good. In fact, you're more following them by sound or by their tracks than by their presence, right? The buzzing of the broken wings of one of the mantises, the fact that they leave snake-like shadows. So it's not like you have them on sight. You're following close, but you're following more by sound than by ear rather than by visual.
Roger that. That's fine.
So they're moving, taking back the. Let's go back to the map here, to the main map. They seem to be moving to this large building in the upper right corner. That group. The fight was near the gates that you entered, you climbed, and they're moving in that direction, right?
Okay. So I guess just like show me on the map where that is.
Yeah, I don't have an overlay map to this, so it'll be
Around there somewhere.
Yeah. Can you see it now? So
Yeah, I see it
3D
now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's in the corner, upper corner. That building in the upper corner against the rocks. Yeah, that's the direction they're heading.
The giant sort of. It looks like almost like a temple castle, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I make a note of that. And do I see any other skirmishes or snakes or Yanti or anything?
Sorry, I got it wrong. My bad.
Oh, okay.
They're actually yeah, I'm right. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're moving that direction.
Okay. Okay, it's all right.
I got my factions confused.
So, do I see any other battles or other snakes or anything like that?
You see signs of battle, right? Broken arrows, some dead bodies, mostly goblins and hobgoblins, and a few lizardmen. In fact, all the lizardmen that you see, none of them have weapons. So apparently they were fighting. If they were fighting, they were fighting with tooth and claw, right?
Oh God, they were basically cannon fodder. All right. Well, I know where they are now, at least. So, okay. So we know where one faction is. I'm going to head back to the gate as stealthily as possible. And I guess I'll wait until the others show up.
Takes 1 hour to come back. So about 3 hours later, you all meet back at the gate. And again, the description is that normally in a city like this, they has a defense and stuff like that, but they have not. They have not basically being able to maintain this. Like the towers are overgrown. In fact, if it were not for the aggressive vegetation, most of the stuff would just be piles of rock and debris in most places.
And then basically, I guess whenever I see Kix and Gar and all them again, I tell them, okay, so this is what I've discovered.
Did we just walk up to the gate of this place?
Yeah.
No one's defending it.
So, okay.
We could literally walk inside without anybody noticing at the moment.
But this is where Lessons put us, and unless Lessons is intending to just ambush us anyway.
Oh, you mean like all those other ambushes that we've had to our way?
Oh yeah, totally.
We've
So
done the river
just
Mac with
assuming
the
it's fine
anti-attack
right
you.
now. Okay.
And also at the distance, you do see that light at the distance, and with that medium building that you never seen that kind of construction before, but it seems to be like stacked rows of stone.
Yeah,
Going smaller and smaller, and in the top you see a bright light, like a giant flame of some sort.
So they are still in the midst of their civil war, and it's definitely done a number to them. If we end either side here right now, the other one will probably prevail.
Why is it
At
a
least
civil war?
here. That's how it was described to us.
Right, but one side appears to be goblin? I don't know what you say.
I believe they're hired mercenaries.
Right, but when your hired mercenaries revolt against you, it's not a civil war.
Shrug. Anyway.
Remember that you
God,
were told that the Yanti would recruit goblins from the villages around the
Right, but that's an uprising. That's not a civil war.
Yeah, but the goblins don't seem to be fighting.
How can a war be civil?
A war of words,
anyway.
a war of ideas. Those could be civil wars.
Anyway, to the real point. whatever we do, what we were here for originally, right now, is Barricat. The last information we had was that they might be somewhere around here. Do we
Yeah,
think that they're
pretty
in
much.
this city?
Well, all we know is that he's somewhere around these mountains and stuff. We don't know if he actually got captured or not. At the time that I spoke with him, it seemed like he wasn't and he was hiding out.
Can you speak with them again?
No clue.
You could try.
I could try, but I don't know. And if he's been caught, then maybe someone else has it now. I don't. But I can try and see if we can get more specifics, I guess.
And
at
just
this
speak
point.
in like code, you know, something he would understand, but anyone else would go, "What the?"
Well, while there are spots here in the city we could probably hit, I can't help notice this large, odd structure that has lights on. If I were to take a random guess, I would guess whatever ruling party is here in this city, they would be there. So if we think we need to strike and that we can, then that would be the place to do so.
Of which side?
And if you... Good question. I don't know.
Are you guys aware of the story of Yojim?
Yes.
Who's Jim?
Yojim was an elf who was a highly skilled warrior, and he was caught into a situation with two warring factions, and he played both against the other until they destroyed each other, then picked up the pieces and collected a reward.
Cool.
What I'm suggesting is perhaps maybe we can do that.
They're already fighting each other.
I know.
That would be
But
something
we
we
could-
would do if it was a Cold War. This is already an active war.
Even if we did try to play both sides, I think both factions hate us.
Correct.
Also, do any of us speak Goblin? I've already forgotten this fact.
No.
I actually have an idea too. If we want to take our time.
I should point out that the larger snake folk, Yanti, we've never come across.
Yeah, but the Yanti that we have come across try to suggest you into performing actions that you did not want to do. So maybe getting close to them and trying to talk to them, not great ideas.
Exactly.
That's also why I avoided them. I believe they are the ones that are controlling the goblins.
Well, obviously they're not doing a very good job of it. Sorry, go ahead, you.
The really big buildings. What if we find what supports them and just shatter it, and then they fall on themselves?
Well, I mean, if they're still standing after all this time when all the other things have crumbled, they might be a solid base or, not even technically buildings anymore. They could just be piles of stone that are keeping themselves supported. You know how an arch
It's
works?
gonna seem like it.
At least like trap them inside if they don't have like a variety of entrances, or like force them to sort of channel towards us like water, you know?
Only concern there is that doing something like that would make us a larger target in the very back end of the city. It'd be very hard to make an escape route from there.
Yeah, you're right.
There is also two of them.
Well, two of what?
The big
I thought there was three.
structures.
Oh, there's probably
One
more.
is
more
there's
of the
three,
bigger-
but one is
bigger Yanti.
destroyed, and we don't know how much destroyed that one is yet.
Yeah, it's like there's two ziggurats and whatever that thing on the right is.
It could be that one is already blocked off and stuff, or it could just be fine.
I do say we should advance towards the large structure there. If we can take that, then maybe we could fortify it and then continue on in the city afterwards.
We have no idea of numbers, composition, location. That is...
Well, that's what our scouts were for, but now we're here.
Why don't we just have them scout more?
Yeah, that is suicidally
we're here.
foolhardy a suggestion.
Can just wait here at the gate where nobody is.
Where we can make it
Yeah.
a fast and easy escape in case something comes along as well, and we're not trapped in the middle of a city of an uprising.
Very
Well,
well then. So we'll
mean,
return
I-
to camp for now.
I assume I already mentioned the fact that that big building to the right that I point to it is where the one group went to. So
Right.
Mhm.
And if they've sent out a force and they're already injured, then now would be the time.
That might just be one group of many groups. We have no idea what the compositions are.
So
You-
then we return to camp for now, and then you two can continue scouting until you find out more.
Well, how about we scout, and on the way out, you guys see if you can use that big boom spell to take down the towers on the wall.
and alert everyone that people are here attacking the city walls. That would be bad for you, and it would alert anybody else that we are here as we are trying to make our way back to camp.
Okay, cool. I didn't think about that.
It is exceptionally loud.
Yeah. And then the falling towers would be too. I just thought it would look cool.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm sure it would look cool, but that doesn't mean we should do it.
Yeah, that's something to do after we're done, and there's no threat left. That way we can walk away with an explosion behind us.
True.
If that is the case, for the next hour of our scouting, spider climb on Lael.
That's a good move because I'm gonna need it.
So where are you going?
Do you want some enhance ability as well?
Yes, if you can enhance strength, that would be nice.
I can do strength, con, dex, whatever.
Anything that would, I guess, help me with climbing if we need to climb.
You don't need to worry about climbing.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, he can carry you
No.
or something. Or
I
yeah,
put spider climb on him.
Just
He can
lets
literally walk on walls.
Yeah.
All right, and if that's the case, I mean, I'll take Dex just so we can do extra stealth.
I can give two of you fly for 10 minutes.
Honestly, it's not the worst idea.
Flying Hugh might be the best way to go because I am so small.
Because I can, until we get back to the keep, concentrate once for 2 at a time. And the fly is 10-minute concentrate, so I can throw concentrate on the 2 of you. So if you want to do it,
survey the battlefield from the sky?
Why don't we fly me? I've already got him climbing on walls.
Yeah,
and then we're working together. Oh, well, no, fly. You got either a 60 or a 90-foot fly speed.
well, I mean, hold on. Does it equal? Yeah, it's only 60 feet. So it doesn't matter which of them, because Lael's not going to be faster in the air. But yeah, I mean, you could conceivably go from one tower to the next tower. And then whatever one you decide to land on, then you have your spider climb for the next.
This place is
50
big.
minutes.
I mean, it took an hour to just get to where on that side street, and this battle basically was very close to the walls. It's a big city. It's a city. It's a full size city. So crossing the entire city could take you an hour and a half, 2 hours at most.
Right by.
Yeah, so like we're not doing the
flies.
full skitty. We're not doing the full city. What we're doing is we're just checking it a little bit farther in, so we know we're not going into an ambush.
So what is your target?
I would say the big building in the center would be a good place to start.
Okay.
What do you think, Hugh?
Yeah, no, I got you covered. I'm your kobold in the sky.
Oh hell, I can just use a 4th level spell and just do it that way.
That is a phrase I never thought I would hear. Anyway, I'd take off running.
Well,
I gave you both flying, so you don't have to take off running.
Oh, okay. I take off flapping, I guess? I don't know how this works.
Well, first thing you do is you extend one arm ahead of you, clench your hand into a fist, slap your other arm by your waist.
What other arm?
Oh, you're right.
Do I need to roll a stealth check while flying, I guess?
Oh, you're not going to pass without trace?
bro,
I wasn't
nobody
playing.
ever looks up.
I'm going to give you advantage by giving you my cat, and I'm going to have my familiar give me advantage.